Welcome back to our next part of Sword Valley. We're just escaping the tower we took over before any mechons can respawn. Even though we have killed the unique in there and it does come up with the quest saying, you know, we've taken it over, there's still respawns in there and the unique can pop back up. In fact, every time you kill a unique, basically all that happens is before you kill it, it will be in its location 100% of the time. Once you've killed it, it will only respawn a certain percentage of the time. This is because you can kill uniques before you get quests for them. But obviously having them permanently dead and then finding a quest to kill them would be a big pain in the arse, especially for completionists. Now we can see they've really started digging in here. Got lots of ether mining going on. One of the things we'll be coming across as a result of them doing their intensive ether mining are these gears sticking up that we can get quite high level crystals from. Now some people playing the game, and we don't judge them for this, they have issues, they'll tell you that the crystals you find are to be used in gem crafting to make gems with special powers to put into your gear. This is incorrect. We find crystals to sell and then buy nice gear. No sane person understands gem crafting in this game. I will demonstrate at some point, maybe when I'm drunk and have the kind of the drunken arrogance you get after, say, 7 or 8 whiskies that makes you feel like you can do or understand anything. Then I will feel prepared to take on crafting in this game, because it makes no sense whatsoever. You can find a lot of gems, so if, like me, you don't understand crafting at all in this game, you can still equip yourself with level appropriate things. It really is just a tiny little activity off to the side for people who are mental, basically. But back to things that I do understand and can cope with. They apparently have a massive pool of ether in the middle. I'm assuming it's some kind of bath. I mean, the only time I've seen giant glowing collections of liquid is for people to, you know, jump in and bathe in. In fact, I do believe I've seen this kind of arrangement in another JRPG that I played a while ago, so I'm gonna go try it out, see what happens. I predict I'm either going to come out with fabulous hair, or I'll pop out somewhere else on the Bionis and then be a gibbering wreck in a wheelchair for a few months. And then I'll be fine and take on some big bad in a big crater. So, here goes. Nope, 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 nope. This is not nourishing. Okay, right, let's pretend that didn't happen. That did not go the way I wanted it to. We'll go back to exploring the rest of the area, which is surprisingly less dangerous. The mechon around here, they're not too bad. There are some neat designs. I do like the designs of the flying ones with their wings and the Halo-esque things on their back. Now, as we've come across another control base, we have A, terrible jump cut, not sure how that slipped past me, but B, another unique to kill. This one we have to, the first one was optional. We don't actually have to do anything inside that base, but in this one, down here, just behind where it was standing before we started the fight, is one of the switches we need to hit to open up a door for later on. And you can't hit it if you're in a fight, and if you drop down to it, you start the fight automatically. None of these uniques are too bad to kill though. They're just beefed up versions of their normal friends. And we take them down quite quickly. It's also the trio I've been running around doing lots of quests with, so they'll like each other quite a lot, and it's very easy to get chain attacks going. Now we do have a big boss fight coming up, and I'm just going to, until we reach the area it's in, I'll just explain my setup for that, because I won't have time to do it during the fight. I will be switching back to Shulk, Dunban and Rhine, both for plot reasons. I think it's thematically more appropriate that those three are the ones to take on the boss fight. and also they've got a good synergy. Now, up until this point, every few levels, with the exception of Shulk, people have been earning new art skills. So everyone else has more art skills than you can put on your bar, and can fulfill 1 or 2 different roles. Now, in the case of Dunban and Rhine, they have the option of either being straight out damagers or tanks, or you can kind of go jack of both trades, master of neither. Obviously, for a boss fight, I'm going to tailor them specifically to get the most out of them. Dunban, I'm going to put more towards doing lots of damage. Rhine, because he's going to have far more health than everyone else and defense, and we're going to be fighting a couple of really big heavy hitters, I'm going to have him more directly tailored towards his tanking role. Having Shulk and Dunban and then Rhine is also really nifty when you do chain attacks, because they all have a minimum of 2 red attacks. So if you want to do straight out damage when you're just generally wandering around, that's really good. But in particular for this, Shulk's going to be... no, not Shulk. Rhine is going to be generating a lot of aggro and trying to keep them from hitting both Shulk and Dunban, because I'm going to be needing as much of my blue bars at the top to go through chain attacks as much as possible. I don't want to be spending them resurrecting people, and if people are dying, obviously, Shulk, Dunban, kind of squishy, that's what I'll be using them for. I'm going to be needing my chain attacks to topple what we're fighting. Because I'm going to be a few levels lower than the boss, I need to take it out of the fight as much as possible. Rather than using the attacks to do lots of damage like I mentioned in the last update, I am instead going to be using it to topple them, because when they're toppled, the way I have the trio equipped, they're all going to have a daze, so it's going to be toppled, which will take it out for about 10-20 seconds, and then daze will add even more time on top of that. Not only is that time you can wail on the enemy freely, but it is also time it's not hitting you. And this is one of those instances where you do really want to exchange the amount of damage you'll do in a chain for the amount of damage you can do plus having it not hit you. And the damage I'll be doing whilst it's not hitting me, I'll also be using a lot of moves that will let me build up my chain attack faster. It does take me a couple of goes to do the next boss, because it requires some thought. I have to pay a lot more attention to my positioning and what roles I had the characters doing. I tweaked them in between attempts. This is why when it comes to the fight, I start slightly outside the arena and then run in. When you start going straight from the cutscene, the fight starts automatically and you're just there in the middle. Whereas how I'll be doing it is, if you die, it loads you just outside so you can play about with your characters and then run in, and that's what I do.
Hey, look! Can we get in through there?
It looks as though it's unguarded. It should make for a decent entry point.
Now's our chance, Dunban.
Yes. But don't lower your guard. The Mechon may just be hiding.
I've been waiting for you.
Mumar!
How predictable. I knew you were going to come.
How could you? How could you do this to your own kind?
That ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just having the time of my life here. Ain't that the point? I even get to take out that annoying Monado brat.
Oi, Beardy! You're talking pretty tough there. Don't be so sure you can take us all on by yourself.
Come on! I ain't that stupid.
What's that sound?
think you can do it? Can you kill them all? I wonder who's inside. Who could it be? Your dad? Your mom? Maybe that special someone. Aha! Looks like we have our first contestant. Too bad she won't give me much of a fight.
It's just like with Zanza. Shala! Look out!
Too bad she won't give me much of a fight.
Shulk?
Everyone! Watch out for the green claws! And the other one's spears! There's something different about them!
You catch on quick, boy! You're right! These weapons are special! They were made especially to decompose you Homs! No, wait! Any being from Bionis!
How can that be?
I don't know about all this technical stuff, but it's something to do with that ether! Ether is like the Bionis blood! The fortress sucks its blood out for us! Then we use it to make this green liquid!
You monsters!
Pretty clever, don't you think? This world suits me just fine, Dunban!
Mumar, you're gonna pay!
I'm tired of your yapping, Mr. Hero! I'm gonna squish you like a slug! Right here, where we shared such lovely memories!
Right, despite the fact that we were surrounded by the mass-produced faces to start with, we only have 2 to fight in this battle along with Mumar, and the first thing I'm going to do is take them out. They're quite quick to get rid of, but they can do substantial damage and, I believe, stun characters. It is really worth taking them out first. As a note as well, when you kill them in this fight, even if you die, you'll still get XP for them. So I do believe I actually leveled up during my first couple of attempts trying to work out the best way to do the fight. They are all, including Mumar, wielding weapons that have their new ether-destroying properties. This means this fight has a lot of poison damage in it, and poison is a damage over time. It means there were occasions I was finding I'd be fine from the initial hit, and then my characters would die a bit later. So what I ended up doing is paying a lot more attention to when Mumar was going to use certain moves, and trying to topple them when I got the warning, instead of using shield and so on. The reason I tried to use chain attacks to lay him out rather than using the Monado skills to protect people is a lot of his attacks that do the poison damage and so on, they hit more than one person. And obviously my Monado skills will only cover one at most. Now, this arena is realistically too small for this fight, and quite a lot of the time I found I was fighting the camera just as much as I was fighting what was going on. And sometimes the camera will kind of get locked in place, like I'd be wedged against the green wall and a mass-produced face's butt, and I couldn't really see what was going on. This next step is simple, regardless of who you're playing, whether it's Shulk or someone else. I'm using Shulk at the moment because Ryan and Dunban have much more powerful weapons equipped than their anti-mechon types, and so I have Shulk so I can put the enchant on and double up on the damage. If you're more level appropriate for the fight, you can probably just use the anti-mechons and then use whoever you want as a third person. But regardless of who you're using, you want to keep who you're controlling somewhere different to the other 2 characters, and you want to kind of hope everyone ends up a bit spread out, not like they are now where Dunban and Ryan are just stood in the same place. This is because, as I said, Mumar has attacks that will hit a number of people. He has a couple of single person attacks that do more damage, but the ones he uses most frequently hit more than one person. And as I said, I'm trying to save up my party gauge for chain attacks rather than resurrecting. And if you spread yourself out, even if you've got Mumar's attention, you'll make it so less people are getting hit. Now, because he is a face, despite the fact the Monado's been unlocked, we still can't topple him unless we use a chain attack. So, as we can see, he's just used his talent art, which is going to poison and kill Dunban. And also, I think it sends out a wave that will damage other people as well. So I've used my talent to topple him, and now I'm going to daze him and wail on him for a bit. This gives Dunban a chance to heal up a bit. It also gives Ryan a chance to get some of the aggro up, because he has a lot more health, and he can take the hit that Mumar's got coming for him. And gives me an opportunity to smack him in the ass. For this fight, I mostly directed my characters towards having high physical defense, but I wanted some ether defense as well, because although 4 of his 6 attacks are physical, 2 are also ether. Strangely, the 4 physical attacks are all the ones that do poison damage and can put the dot on you, which I found quite odd.
Come back! Leave it to me! Right, now! I know!
Get off me!
Ha! No escape!
Okay, my turn!
Get off me!
Not bad!
Just like
Get off me!
nicely done!
Too much! The Monado is too much!
Yes, this is the power of the Monado. You wanted it, so now you can have it, Mumar!
I'm better than all of you! You're the one who's finished!
Die! Stop! Get out of my way, Shulk!
It's Mumar! He's not a Mechon!
Have you forgotten everything he's done? Where is your killer instinct? Now is the time!
I hate him, Dunban! For what he did to Fiora and the Emperor! So of course I want to get my revenge!
Shulk.
But... Face Mechon are not like the others. They're people. Like us. Are you really willing to kill another Homs?
Yes, sometimes needs must!
Even if it's Fiora? What then? When we set out, I wanted to destroy all Mechon. That was my aim. But now, I know that there are people inside. I have to know why. What's the reason for all of this? Why do Bionis and Mechonis have to keep on fighting? I have to find out why!
So, that is your fight.
Dunban!
I will never forgive what he's done. And yet, your words, they ring true. I feel their weight. We have to help Fiora now. We'll worry about the rest later.
Right.
Did you hear that, Mumar? We haven't got time to be playing around with you.
You always had to have the last word. Just die!
No!
Just
Don't move!
die!
Stay back! Mumar!
No! No! Not like this!
Mumar! You went too far, you fool.
They are of surprisingly little use, those visions.
Because he could not save His Majesty. That was within the margin of fate. It was not Shulk's fault.
So you side with the boy?
Did you find anything out?
I did. It is most fascinating, this spear. The green fluid alters and destroys the structure of the ether, which is the building block of life on Bionis. It appears to have been created from ether energy drawn from the blood of the Bionis.
Could that explain the ether flowing through Sword Valley?
I do not think it is the only reason, but it is too early to draw conclusions.
Is there a countermeasure?
Creating antibodies is a simple matter. We will be ready.
That is good news.
Why did you have to include him? You know how he disgusts me.
We must respect our elders. Dixon has known him far longer than us.
At least he's out of the way. Now we just need to get inside.
They're in there. Fiora and the Golden Mechon. Fiora!
Shulk! What's up?
Did you see something?
No.
You did see something.
All right. It was the Silver Mechon. Fiora. She's definitely inside the fortress.
All right. At least we know what to expect.
So, Fiora is inside. I can't let that vision come true. I have to save her.